This week we've been doing some training on crisis negotiation. A lot of people, when they think about crisis negotiation, they automatically default to hostage situations, which certainly that encompasses. But also crisis negotiation can be individuals that are barricaded, and even suicide intervention, someone that's having a really bad day and is distraught and are thinking about harming themselves or not really quite sure what they're going to do.
It's sort of covered a variety of different things. It's talked a lot about different profiles of individuals who may end up taking other people hostage or that may barricade themselves. Talks a lot about getting information on them, how to interact with different situations, how to keep people safe, how to talk to people, how to kind of just negotiate and navigate the situations that to ideally resolve it as safely for everybody as possible.
A good part of the week, there's obviously been a lot of classroom instructions, but then what we like to do is get the officers out of their seats. You know, it's one thing to talk about it, but now let's start doing, let's start making it happen. You know, and I inject a couple things into the scenarios to cause stress for them, because real life incidents are stressful, and not everybody cooperates and not everybody does what we hope and think they would do. So we put them in these situations to kind of give them that stress inoculation, but also to just get them that concept for working as a team. You know, they don't have to deal with this situation by themselves. They have other officers there to help them. And so it's to kind of start taking it out of the book and putting it into a real world application to show them that it really can work and how to apply it.
Role plays are sort of a necessary evil. Most people aren't fans of them, but I feel like they are so helpful because they really, you know, it's easy to sit back and say, well, I would say this or I would do that, when you're not on the hot seat and you're not having to sit there and you know, attend to what this person is trying to say and really hear what they're saying, and then also try to respond in a way that is helpful or that maybe can help de-escalate the situation. So I mean, it's really easy to say, well, I know all these things, but actually having to put them into practice. And I think you learn things too. You know, when you say the wrong thing, or it gives you a chance to make the mistakes in an environment where you can make those mistakes and learn from them. And I feel like communicating is a perishable skill too. I mean, if you don't do it for a long time, you don't do it all the time, and you're not practicing things, it really, you kind of get rusty at some of that stuff.
Too many times in this world, especially with technology, and don't get me wrong, technology is a wonderful thing and I use technology, but sometimes, you know, everything's a social media post, an email, a text. Sometimes we really kind of start losing our ability to communicate well with each other. We don't really listen. We talk at each other, but we really don't listen. The opposite of talking should be listening, but for a lot of us it's waiting to interrupt. We have this brilliant argument, this statement, this answer that we want to make, and so instead of really listening to what someone's saying, we're just looking at them, smiling and politely waiting for them to stop talking so that we can say what we want to say. And so in many ways this is kind of an old school thing on getting back to the basics of learning how to actually communicate and listen to each other.
I think it's been nice because some of the members that are also on the crisis negotiations unit with me were here in the class, and so we really have had a chance, you know, we trained together, but it's really been nice to kind of do some of these role plays with us, being able to sort of work through some things as a team and come up with some new ideas of how do we do things better, and how do we organize things better, how do we work with people, how do we sharpen our skills.
Not all the time, but a lot of times if we can get some sort of dialogue opened up, we can start eliminating misunderstandings. And once people feel heard, once they feel like that they can talk and tell their story, in many cases they tend to naturally start de-escalating. So that's what this is all about, to try to get people to resolve and de-escalate with communication skills before things have to increase with use of force or other options.